Good morning. Welcome to 3 for 3. It is Friday, November the 10th, coming to you live from beautiful Charleston. Fall is here, but it's still the weather's still quite warm. I think we've got more in store this weekend. That said, our 3 for 3 this week, what are we going to touch on? How about a raise? We're going to give you a raise. Thankfulness and taxes. Trying to keep it a little simple. Last week's blog and missive and video was pretty heavy with soft landing, hard landing, recession, dog days. So you may want to go back and read through that one. We still have some potentially some hard times ahead, but you know what? This week's 3 for 3 is here, and you know what it's about? 2 positive weeks in the market. We're going to eke out just barely a positive week this week with NASDAQ Dow and the S&P 500 up slightly, tech and the NASDAQ being the winner amongst the two. That said, getting into our 3 for 3, let's go to the winners and losers. The losers happen to be oil, the dollar, as well as bond yields. But bond yields slipping is great for those of us who have added our bond exposure or locked in higher rates in the past weeks, which we have here at AlphaVest. Also along those lines, we divested in the dollar as well as lightened our oil holdings in the past few weeks. So that did not negatively impact any of our portfolios this past week. Grainger WW Grainger Inc. has been a 2 for 2, 1 or 2 weeks in a row. So that is one of our Aristocrats models holders. So it's nice to be in the top 5 2 weeks in a row. So a shout out there. Also with excellent performance, up over 40% year to date. So thank you, Grainger, for bringing us those high dividend yields and quality returns to the portfolio. Losers, you will see again, oil holdings as well as master limited partnerships or MLPs. Our MLPs, AMLP and MLPX. MLPX being a diversified MLP ETF or exchange traded fund that we hold. Those yields are in excess of 7%. So when we see us giving back 5% and 4% for the week, it's not a good sign. Yet returns for those particular holdings have been excellent for the portfolios. And we don't see MLPs in danger of cutting dividends anytime soon. So for now, we'll continue to hold. So what did we say? We said thankful, taxes, and well, I don't remember. So let's go to a raise. We talked about a raise. So let's talk about a raise. The IRS gave you a raise yesterday. Standard deduction for couples increased $1,500. So there's your raise. For those of you who are single, you'll enjoy a $750 raise next year if you file with a standard deduction. Most are this day and age. If you don't, you didn't get a raise. So up your charitable contributions and then you'll get your raise. Marginal tax brackets and rates changed ever so slightly, but we thought we'd list it here on the slide for you. Why? Because this is the time, is towards the end of the year, you really need to be thinking about year-end tax planning going into 2024, and what can you be doing to increase your return on investment? Because your return on investment is not just WW Grainger, putting 40% in your portfolios. It's also making sure you're tax efficient. So for those AlphaVest clients who've been with us a while, we do this for you. You don't need to reach out. We will automatically manage your gains and losses here at year end, balancing out any outside investments that you also may have, which we will do automatically. For those of you who are not have alternate advisors, this is something you should inquire about, because year-end tax balancing and tax harvesting is really important to your overall returns. I thought I would also note that here at year end, and this really doesn't apply to our AlphaVest clients, we typically do not hold mutual funds. Instead, we mostly are owners of stocks and exchange traded funds. Why? Because mutual funds can really be problematic, especially year end. You'll see here on the corner of the slide that 2/3 of mutual funds last year in 2022 actually passed capital gains distributions to investors when guess what? The S&P 500 was off over 18%. How does that happen? Well, it's complicated, but just suffice it to say that going into December, if you own a mutual fund, you should really take heed and have an advisor take a look at it to see whether or not you're going to be getting a distribution. Those are sometimes tax burdens that you don't need. So just a little heads up that ROI with respect to tax efficiency and tax loss harvesting here at year end can really make a big difference in your long-term overall performance. And then, of course, we need to end with thankful as we go into the weekend and are honoring Veterans Day tomorrow, November the 11th. I do want to say thank you to all of those who have served our country and who are currently serving our country. Right now, it's a very tumultuous time overseas and abroad with conflicts still happening, not only in the Ukraine, but also still on the Gaza Strip. And our heart goes out to veterans across the world. But for those who have kept us here in the United States safe and who have fought in the past and are fighting for us now to keep us safe, I say thank you. And not only that, here at AlphaVest, we want to put our money where our mouth is, and we want to extend liberated investor pricing through the end of the year, which is just $20 a month, $20 flat fee per month for your accounts to all veterans. So reach out to us, and we're going to give that to you for all of calendar year 2024. So we say thank you to the veterans, and also we'd like to put some investment management fees back in your pocket. So if you're a veteran and you'd like to look deeper into your portfolio management, and/or minimize your investment management fees, now's the time that we'd like to offer that to you. But first and foremost, and most importantly, we just say thank you. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for joining me. Koki Cox here at AlphaVest. Over and out for 3 for 3.